Welcome. It's an absolute joy to say and welcome you to the great city, the great city of Miami Gardens here in the state of Florida. Let me introduce to you very, very quickly Live Healthy Miami Gardens, a community-based initiative that we've had support from many community groups, particularly the Health Foundation of South Florida, and continue with the Center for Disease Control. That Live Healthy Miami Gardens is about raising and making and equipping our community with greater and more efficient health services. And so here we are this afternoon. Let me jump right into it. That we're here to talk about vaccination and vaccines and why this is so very, very important. Now, when you consider that over the past year, in the midst of our COVID-19 pandemic, certainly we have heard a whole lot more about vaccination and vaccine and so on and so on. But this afternoon, while we would recognize that, we want to focus more specifically here on vaccination for our young people. It's back to school time. School starts in another 2 weeks, is it? And every time this year, parents get or families get very, very concerned, interested that there are requirements that their children have to be vaccinated for one reason or the other, or one program or the other. And so it was considered vitally, vitally important to be able to share this conversation with you. Thank you for being a part of this conversation. I'd like to recognize Dr. Anan, right here in the great city of Miami Gardens. Actually, I'm going to invite you, Dr. Hussein Anan. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, please, sir, and the community health center in which you're a part of?
Okay, well, thank you, Father, for having me today, and Live Healthy Miami Gardens. It's my honor to be here today. I am a primary care sports medicine physician. Work at Center for Family and Health Enrichment in Miami Gardens, and we are a nonprofit organization here that works with low-income, uninsured, and from pediatrics from birth to adults, geriatrics. We have primary care and GYN and all different services that we offer here. So we're trying to be more involved in the community. We're trying to give more outreach programs and talks, and of course education to the community over here in the area.
You are familiar with Live Healthy Miami Gardens initiative, and because you've been a part of our work and the mission as a significant partner, you with the Center for Family and Child Enrichment, and so many other agencies and organizations and individuals have come together with this initiative, the Live Healthy Miami Gardens. So we're concerned. We're here in partnership to make a difference. The consideration today is vaccination and vaccines, particularly having to do with our children.
Yeah.
I did some inquiry around, and of course I went foremost to the Center for Disease Control. That they certainly do have an interest on what happens with the health of our children, and here too related to what we're doing this afternoon with vaccination and vaccines. But the question before us then, Dr. Anan, is why vaccination?
Okay, so the main idea behind vaccinations, and I try to simplify it actually to patients in general, is that so immune system basically is like the defense mechanism. It's like the first. It's like a policeman, if you want to call it, that defense that stops any kind of attack on the body, if any kind of infection, whether that a bacterial infection, virus, any other organism. So the idea of vaccination is basically preparing the body or the immune system to an actual infection. So the vaccine is basically and different types of vaccines made in different ways. However, it basically takes a protein or takes a part of the virus or the bacteria, and it's injected into the body to basically fool the body, if you want to call it that, or fool the immune system to trigger a like a immune mechanism. So when the actual infection happens, it makes it either prevents the infection from happening, or if it actually infection happens, it becomes less severe or causes less complications or less shorter duration. So different vaccines works different ways. So that's the main idea of having the vaccines, is that to protect the children from any future exposures to vaccines, and of course, or to viruses or infection. And of course, being in school, being around other children, being outdoors, being in those activities, you want to live your life normally, and also be safe from those organisms. So that's why the vaccine is basically an extra layer of protection for the children to be safe out there, living their life, being active around other children who may have infection, spreading it to them unknowingly. But and that basically what it is. So it's just like a training. It's like you're training your immune system to become more prepared for any future infection. And that makes it, a lot better than if you're dealing with the infection at the first time without a vaccine, without knowing that infection, you're just being exposed to that infection. That makes the outcome a lot worse.
And so that the vaccination project with the vaccines exist to help people, and in this case, with focusing on our children as we are, is to help our children fight off diseases, to
Yes.
fight off those things that would compromise their immune systems, would affect their bodies, and that would create ill health, which would be very costly in so many different ways.
Yeah, definitely. Because also, if the body is not, or the child is not prepared for that, it will increase absence from school. So more days missed from school, more activities are missed. They're not able to participate in sports or try to participate in activities because of their illness. Again, higher disability, long-term complications, or more hospitalization or complications or stuff like that are related to the infection that could have been prevented by taking the vaccine.
I have to go back to my childhood growing up in Jamaica. That the health officials would come, and we would line up class by class and go up to the nurse, and there was somebody past the nurse. Once you pass the nurse, you would go on over and you get your vaccine. I, along with my friends, would be smiling, going into the line, getting to get the vaccine. You're trying, to be strong about this, but Dr. Anan, as a child, I was terrified.
Yeah, I remember those days too. Yeah, we did that in Egypt actually. Same thing. We'll line up and it'll be like a line, that waiting for the shot, and you're crying and holding each other and saying goodbye to each other and stuff like that. So yeah, I remember those days. It's less traumatic now. At least now we do it in the office with the children, one on one. Just no trauma. We try to give stickers or candy or stuff like that before and after. So it's not as traumatic as it used to be, at least these days.
And it was important. I mean, I recognize that this was not just another game. It was a hugely life important matter. Now, could you say what kind of vaccines are required for our children? How important is that scheduling or regimen? Where does it start? Where does it continue? How does it continue?
Well, it depends really, but I mean, this starts from birth. Actually, there's the hepatitis B vaccine starts from birth, day one, and then it continues the schedule. With every well visit, there's different vaccines. However, there are main ones that can be like to prevent meningitis, for example, is a good important one. Pneumonia vaccine, pneumococcal vaccine, or Prevnar. These are ones that are important ones. The hepatitis A and B vaccines. The MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, the tetanus shot, and the Tdap, for example, tetanus, pertussis, and so these things that the vaccines that are given to prevent, as I said, strong or common bacterial infections. There's also viral infections, like every year there's the flu vaccine. This is not mandatory; it's optional. Doesn't really prevent the flu. It prevents complications of flu. So if you still get the infection, symptoms are not as severe or not as complicated, and also lower hospitalization, lower complications that happens with a child. So and also, of course, now that we have the COVID vaccine, 12 and up, there's other vaccines that be given. As I said, they are mainly there's a long list but it depends on the age and the group.
Just now, you began a list of the kinds of vaccines are available.
Mm-hmm.
I may have missed it, but I did not hear mention of the word polio.
Yes, well, it's part of the polio is one of them actually as well. So IPV or the polio vaccine, it's also given, and of course, we see how effective it is now these days. So it is part of the vaccinations that also according to the age.
But what I think I hear you also saying is that there's the appropriateness for the time to administer or which vaccine would be administered. Um, can so that as a family or as parents, bringing my child in, there's also the routine or the scheduling of standard vaccines.
Yeah. So it's actually usually done during a well visit or well check. So the child comes in, as I said, from birth, and then 2 weeks, and then 4 weeks, and then so it's an interval that the child would come, and then we do a well visit, so a complete checkup for the whole child to make sure everything is okay. And then the vaccines, the schedule of the vaccine is also, as I said, it's also part of the check that we do. Plus, if there's any blood work that is needed to be done at this point, we can also obtain that. It's usually done if it's yearly, like starting at age 3.5, and then it becomes yearly. Then usually it's before, like in the summer, before starting school. But it can be done anytime throughout the year for them to be able to have the school form filled and the vaccination and the vaccine records updated, making sure that everything is up to date for them to be able to start the school year.
I help me here. In your list, and back to your list of vaccines for children, you did mention the tetanus is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Tdap is basically it's the tetanus, pertussis, and the polio, the Tdap. Sorry, the tetanus, pertussis, and diphtheria. They are basically together. They can be separated as well, but tetanus is one of them. Yeah.
This is fascinating, and I'm glad for this opportunity to remind our community that you must stay on top of the vaccination process. And it is as important for families and for parents in particular to know what is required at what time.
Mm-hmm.
And to make sure that your child has access or receives. Dr. Anan, I'm going to go way off. Are vaccines readily available, or is there trouble in the land, so to speak, with accessing vaccines in the city of Miami Gardens?
No, they're really available. So we get them from Department of Health. There's actually vaccines are available and free actually as well. So they're just free of charge just for like administration fee and stuff like that. But other than that, they're available with Department of Health, from community health centers, pediatric offices, family practice offices. They're really very easy to get, as I said, and even here at CFCE, we provide these free of charge coming from the Department of Health. There's no shortage of most vaccines. Unless, of course, sometimes there's low, sometimes they're going to start here and there, but they're always available for children.
Which of course begs the question. We're in COVID times now, and we're seeing what we're seeing.
Mhm.
Um, is COVID vaccine available through your center?
COVID vaccine is available actually. Yeah. So for adults, we have the Moderna vaccine and we have Janssen. We also have Pfizer vaccine available in the next couple of weeks. We also have for children the Pfizer vaccine, which is 12 years and up. That's also available in the next couple of weeks. We have actually patients. We already have wait lists for patients, and we're scheduling them to start receiving the Pfizer vaccine for, as I said, as children, but also for adults.
The Center for Family and Child Enrichment continues to do a stellar job, outstanding in really reaching out and with
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're actually, as I said, we're giving these on Fridays here in the office, but we're also doing outreach programs. So we're going out to senior centers, we're going out to churches, we're going out to schools, and to be able to give the vaccines to whoever is interested. So we announce these periodically whenever have anything. Like we have something coming Saturday, the 7th, and also the 14th. So we go out to the community. So if people cannot come to us, we try to go to them to be able to give the COVID vaccine and other vaccines. We also we have a back to school event coming up in the end of August that will be announced soon. Over 2 days, we'll also be giving vaccines, and we're doing back to school physicals and sports physicals for any forms to be filled. So yeah, we're not just limiting ourselves to the practice or the agency. We're also trying to go out there to the community throughout Miami Gardens and Miami area, Dade County.
one of the hopes in this conversation that as our community would listen to this conversation, that they would want to reach out and encourage their neighbors, and particularly neighbors with younger children,
Mhm.
have to be vaccinated, according to the schedule ordinary. But what about vaccination for COVID vaccine for our children? Is that yet available in the city, or is it available through the Center for Family and Child Enrichment?
It is, yes. So that's why, as I said, we actually already got the Pfizer. The only vaccine that is approved for children, 12 through 18, is Pfizer vaccine, and that is, as I said, we're starting within the next 2 weeks. Actually, we'll be starting giving that out. We already have a list of patients that we have that are interested in receiving it. So we're just trying to finalize everything and put on dates and all that. But it's usually every Friday. We give it every Friday from 9 till 5:30 p.m. Walk-ins, no appointments needed. They can just call in beforehand if needed, just to get information and all that. But then, as I said, we give it to all the children. We also give it to adults as well, 18 and above, Pfizer, Moderna, and Janssen. So all of them are available, and should be given easily to whoever's interested.
Does the center provide or make testing available, or
We do testing only for our patients, unfortunately, that we don't have. It's not, at this point, we're still working on seeing if we can get like walk-in testing and all that.
Yeah.
But at this point, we only offer it to the patients that are established here in the office. So that's one thing we can do. Like we do provide primary care for adults and children and everybody, and those patients are the ones that we are able to offer free COVID testing as well.
And are there any questions from our guests? Please uh, send your questions that for Dr. Anan. All questions are certainly welcome. If we're unable to respond to your questions, certainly there is a way in which we could get the questions out. One possibility is that if you post your question this week, we are unable to get to it, and then there's the real interest and offer that we would pick up the question next week, because this conversation, which I said at the beginning, sponsored by the Live Healthy Miami Gardens initiative. And by the way, this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way of serving our community, and I can say that because I am the co-chair for the host council, and along with the host council, we have smaller groups that have specific areas of responsibility. There's the physical exercise. There's also healthy eating, and we have a number of different projects that again, all are in concert of Miami Gardens as a place, as a community, and as a people would have access to the health necessities, the health care provisions, making us a healthy community. Our conversation here this afternoon is around vaccines and vaccination, particularly for our children, or as I would love to say, for our next generation. I'm going to throw this one out. What I hear, Dr. Anan, is that the center is a family resource. That you have initiatives, or you have projects, or you have programs, or you're so targeted to the different components, or the different composite of a family. Could you repeat a little bit the kinds of services that are available through the center?
Yeah. So actually, the agencies, that there's the medical part of it, and there's a whole social part of it, aspect of it. So I'm in the clinic part of this, or the center, where we have we have actually dental service. We have dentists here, two different dentists that provide service. We have OBGYN. We have pediatrics for all the children, of course, primary care children, and sports care and all that. Also, I see adults as well. So we do all the wellness and chronic condition management for adults. We also see geriatrics in older population. And also, sorry, the light. And then also, besides that, we have mental health, addiction care. We have part of the agency housing, foster care, and care for uninsured. We have the what's called sliding fee, which is, if it's the nominal fee for like $25. The patient can be seen, and very, very cheap fees for blood work and basic like preventive medicine. We have nutritionist here full time that we also have. We believe in holistic medicine, and that's basically what I'm trying to work with here. Is trying to go back to basic medicine, trying to go back to nature, trying to believe in body, mind, and spirit, where we can work on the three. Have to basically address the three. There's no healthy body without a healthy mind. There's no healthy mind without a healthy spirit, and that's why we wanna address that from all perspective, from all angles, to come to for the whole family, because you want healthy parents to have healthy children. You want healthy grandparents. You want everybody to be involved in this situation, in the family. You can't just address one part and leave the rest. I think it's a multi factorial factors, and so you need just to make sure that you're addressing everything, and helping with the different aspects. So I believe that our mission here is not just the medical part, but it's everything. It's just feeling a well-being center.
Our conversation live, Facebook Live conversation today has been with Dr. Hussein Anan, and has focused more specifically on vaccination for our children. Dr. Hussein Anan is at the Family and Child Enrichment Center located here in the city of Miami Gardens. And so as we come to a close, to encourage our listeners to connect. If not for yourself, maybe for others, to know that these resources are readily available here in our great city, the great city of Miami Gardens. Dr. Anand is an extremely very busy person, and he has patients waiting on him and who have been so kind to allow him to come and share with us. But Dr. Hassan, I want to say thank you for just being present, and in which, as you have shared the work that you do and the work of the center for our community, for our people.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. And I'm going to ask you to have the last word, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I'm really blessed to be part of this team here, and I'm really blessed to be part of this community, because this is really fits my mission. This is why I'm here, and I do believe that healthy body and healthy minds and healthy body, and you are what you eat, and that's why, as I said, we are here for everybody, for every age, for every gender, for everybody. So if you don't know about the center, if you don't know about us here, please. Google, call us, ask us, stop by the office anytime. If you have any questions or any concerns, we are happy to take any calls, to answer any questions, emails. As I said, we are here for the community, and we grow by the community. So please keep us busy. We want to be busy here.
On behalf of the Healthy Miami Gardens initiative with Tamara Bruce, our executive, I want to say executive director, but more specifically, our champion for health deliverables and developing the health care. Thank you very much to Tamara Bruce and her team of Tracy Joseph and Quintana Haynes, who are behind the scenes and who have done and continue to do tremendously serving our community. Thanks to her team, and thanks to all who serve in every which capacity, the partners, the agencies like the Enrichment Center here. Thank you all, thank us all. And Dr. Anand, you're the man.
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
God bless you too. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone.